Good morning and happy Monday. If you are watching this live or if you watch this today, it is Monday morning and it is raining here in Dallas, Texas. And heads up, I've had hiccups for the last 20 minutes. So I think they finally went away in the last 30 seconds, but I'm not sure. So if they just creep up, just know that, yeah, we may be getting some hiccups here. So I hope you had a wonderful weekend and did some self care. On Friday, we talked about Simone Biles and her taking care of her mental health, and so proud of her. And I hope that everyone is taking care of themselves. I am Jen Sugarmeyer. I am your host of Mindset in the Morning. And here we get intentional about our lives and talking about topics that help impact the rest of our day because the morning is so crucial. It's like when they say, you should eat a breakfast in the morning to get you going. It's what fuels your body. So we're setting our mind, becoming intentional about the direction that we want it to go. And this week, we're actually going to be talking about mindset and why mindset matters because we talk about mindset all the time. And that's what I am. I'm a mindset coach, and mindset truly is the foundation of everything. So this week we are going to dedicate it talking to why exactly does mindset matter? Because we throw that word out a lot, the mindset, the mindset, the mindset. And we talk about a lot of different mindsets, but we're going to talk this week about why mindset matters. And today we're specifically going to be talking about success. And we all want success. Absolutely. Well, so first and foremost, let's talk about Carol Dweck. So Carol Dweck, she actually is a professor from Stanford, and she talks about fixed versus growth mindset. So without getting too long and drawn out about this, but Carol did some amazing studies where she actually studied athletes and looked at, did a series of questionnaires and tests and all of that. And the conclusion was that people had one of two mindsets, and that they were either fixed or they were growth. And so, depending on which category they were, it really had a big impact on their actions and what they were able to accomplish. And so, as she was going through this, what she could then deduce is if you have one mindset, that you are much more limited. And if you have one, you are much more likely to grow, to develop, to achieve your goals. So, with that premise in mind, mindset truly does matter. Now, mindset isn't going to be the actions. You don't accomplish your goals without the actions. It is that basis. It is mindset is what holds everything together. It's like what Henry Ford says. He says, if you can or you can't, you are right. And that is exactly what mindset is. If you tell yourself that you can, which is a growth mindset, or if you say that you can't, which is a fixed mindset, either way, you are right and you determine that. But if you tell yourself that you can, then you need to couple that with actions and go. Okay. It's one thing for us to have a mindset and say, I can do this. But if we keep saying, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and you never do it, well, then you're not accomplishing your goal, but you are very, very certain of your skills. Does that make sense? I think my hiccups were playing with me, by the way, because literally for 20 minutes, like I kept hiccuping, and I'm like, how am I going to get rid of these stinking things? And now they're gone. So, but I keep like waiting for them. I'm like afraid of them. So, in the growth mindset, so let's talk about these two mindsets and what she found with these athletes. So, when in a growth mindset, when you see a challenge, and many of us see challenges within our lives, and that could be, a new thing at work, that maybe we're given a new task at work, or maybe maybe we're moving, or we need to change jobs, or we get laid off of our job, or we're starting a new business, or um Our kids are going through something new at school, or boy, we run into challenges all the time, know. And so whatever that is, whatever you see that challenge as, maybe you have to wake up a little bit earlier. You're like, oh, that's going to be hard. That's going to be a challenge. Think of those times. I want you to think of something now where you say, oh, that's really going to be tough. Oh, that's a challenge. Oh, that's going to be hard. Think of that, whatever comes to mind. And, or if nothing comes to mind, start to pay attention to it throughout the day. And there are two ways that we can look at that situation. We can say, that's a challenge and we end there, or we acknowledge the challenge and we say, ooh, that's actually an opportunity. So really it's one or the other. Is it a challenge or is it an opportunity? And that's in everything. And we talked a few weeks ago about the difference of saying I get to versus I have to. And this is 100%, this is a growth versus fixed mindset. So when we say we have to do something, there is there's like I have to. It's like you're being forced, you're being made to do something. But when you get to do something, you're in control of it. There's gratitude behind it. I get to run 5K today. Where some people are like, oh, I have to run 5K. It's like somebody's forcing you, somebody's making you do this versus on your own free will on something that you want to do. I get up in the morning, literally ever since we've had that morning, it was one of these Wednesdays, we talked about that. And I wake up because last night I didn't sleep well. Again, it took me a long time to fall asleep. So I was really tired this morning. And the first thing I said is, I get to get up this morning. And it doesn't always mean that like that's going to put me in a bright, bubbly mood. But if I go, oh, let me sit here and just hit the snooze for a little bit longer, then then it doesn't energize me. I'm like, oh, I have to get up. I have to get up. But if I'm like, I get to get up, my brain starts going towards gratitude. I am grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to go talk about mindset. I'm grateful. Honestly, the reason I do this show, this is honest to goodness, is because I want to impact lives. That's it. I want to make an impact in this world because our mindset truly is everything. So let's have a show where we talk about mindset in the morning, get our mindset right. And even if it changes one person's life, then it was worth it. So when I say I get to, my brain goes to the reasons why I'm doing these things versus, oh, I have to get up. I just want to stay here a little bit longer, you know, because I'm human. I'm human, and there are days I legitimately like get out of bed. I'm like, oh, I had a great night's sleep and I'm ready for the day. And there are some days like today where I'm like, oh my gosh. And last night I'm like, why am I not sleeping? Why? And my brain is just going all over the place and is what it is. So I woke up this morning and I was tired. And guess what? I didn't really want to get out of bed. So I told myself I get to, and it changed the game. I am in a growth mindset. That's exactly what mindset is. You are just those small little tweaks and saying, hey, hello, this is how I want to show up. I want to show up more powerfully. I want to be in control. And I'm in control when I get to do something versus I have to do something. Somebody's making me do something. The world is forcing this on me. The world's not forcing me to do anything. I'm here because I want to be, because I get to be. It is an honor and a privilege. And that's where your brain goes. So that's why it's so important to control our thoughts, because when we control our thoughts, yeah, I mean, it impacts what you do. Your whole foundation, it shifts with just one word, get to versus have to. So are you looking at these things in your life as challenges or as opportunities? Or do you look at those challenges as opportunities? Does that make sense? And we want to look at them as opportunities. Wow, I can get better. I can improve myself. You know, I hear no quite often. Quite often. I think that's just part of the entrepreneurial journey. You're going out and selling your services. And this isn't just Jen Sugarmeyer. This is everybody. Like if you're selling clothes, not everybody is your ideal client. Not everybody walks into your store, buys something. A lot of people walk in, they look around, and they leave. It's the same thing. Same thing. So I hear no or not now or whatever. I hear that a lot. But if I let that crush me, if I said, oh, well, then there's nothing more for me to do here, and I just stopped, that's a fixed mindset. But if I look at that and I say, okay, there is opportunity for me to grow. How can I make it so that the next person says yes? What can I learn from this? So that's taking a challenge and finding the opportunity in it. So that's where we want to be. So if we want to achieve this level of success, we cannot let things, when these challenges come up, we can't let them just stop us and cripple us and paralyze us. Look for those opportunities. Okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I develop? Be aware of when people are giving you feedback as well. What Carol found with fixed versus growth is that people with a fixed mindset, so when I'm saying fixed, there is no more room to grow. What you have is what you have. That's it. You don't see wow, there's opportunity to grow. It's either you know how to do something or you don't. And what she found here is that when you are getting feedback, you are more likely to get defensive, to put your walls up, to put your guard up, or you may take it personally. Whereas someone with a growth mindset says, thank you. I respect your opinion, or maybe you don't respect their opinion. I don't know. And they take what they want from that, and that's that. They aren't ruminating on, oh, they don't think I'm good enough. They don't think, no. If you are in a growth mindset, then you say, okay, I hear what you're saying. You know what? I think I can. I think I can do better with that information. Or, yeah, you're right. Or, no, you're not right. And that's okay. You're the one that gets to determine if that opinion is something that you want to take on. But you don't look at it as negatively. You acknowledge that everybody has an opinion. We're opinionated people. I always tell people, hey, if you don't want an opinion, don't ask Jen Sugarmeyer because I got tons of opinions. But that's all they are just opinions. Doesn't mean they're right. Now, legit, maybe. Like if you have a coach, that is someone who has proclaimed to be more of an expert in that area. Yeah. You have some people that you hire within your company as SMEs, subject matter experts, and you hire them because of their expertise. So you got to know the source and you got to know where they're coming from. Like if somebody wants to give me advice and they've never done it, they've never been there, they're just kind of guessing. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll listen, but does that hold the same amount of weight as somebody who has been there? They've done it, they've gone through it, they started from the bottom, now they're at the top. Like you can see these things about them. But either way, whether it's the person who's been there or the person who hasn't been there, it's just an opinion. And you're the one that gets to take that on. But it comes down to how are you going to receive that? And if you hear an opinion and you put that wall up and you get offended, or you take that as a suggestion, or you take that as an opportunity to grow. That's where you'll find yourself in a growth mindset versus fixed. So start to pay attention when someone is giving you just their opinion, some advice, some constructive criticism. How do you take that? Do you get defensive? Be honest with yourself. There is absolutely no point in not being honest with yourself. Absolutely none. You're the only one that is not going to benefit from that. So think about it. How are you taking that information? Blame. Blame was a huge one. People with a fixed mindset were more likely to blame other people. Well, I'm not good at basketball because my parents never played ball with me. Well, I could have been better at basketball if my parents would have played basketball with me growing up. And they would blame the reason for them not being where they wanted to be on somebody else. Whereas people with the growth mindset, they said, "Oh my gosh, my parents didn't play with me when I was a kid. That must mean that I need to do double the amount of time now." And they saw it as an opportunity. So they would look at life as these are just the facts. The fact is, sure, maybe my parents don't, maybe they didn't play basketball with me. Maybe they don't have the genes of basketball, like nobody in the family in the lineage ever played basketball. But that doesn't mean that they can't change the trajectory. I love when I hear stories about people going to college and they're like, I want to be the first one to graduate. I want to change the trajectory of my family. So it's not, we've always done it this way. None of us have ever gone to college. So therefore, we don't need to go to college. It's, I want to be the first. I want to be the one that shows the rest of my family that we can, that we are capable, that this is a possibility. So if you are in a fixed mindset, you look at that and you say, man, nobody ever went in my family went to college, or we don't have the money. We don't have that kind of money to go do that. And you're blaming versus we might not have the money, but I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to apply for grants. I'm going to apply for scholarships. And guess what? I'm going to be the first one in my family. And when I walk across that stage, I'm going to invite everybody in my family and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate. So, do you see the difference? So, mindset matters. We just talked about a few things today: how you take on information as you're processing it, how you take on those opinions. Are you looking at things as opportunities or challenges? Are you blaming others or are you not blaming others? This is mindset, y'all. This is why mindset matters. And we talk about mindset in the morning so that when you go out there, you can become aware and you say, oh my gosh, I just looked at that as a challenge, like a roadblock, like I can't get past it. Oh my gosh, I'm blaming other people. Wow, I guess I do take offense when you give me constructive criticism. And you can start to acknowledge these things about yourself and then shift them and say, you know what? I'm going to take that opinion and I'm going to see how I can grow from that, or I'm just going to disregard it and say thank you. I acknowledge and I respect you as a human, but you know, I don't need to take on that opinion. That's not the opinion that I want to take on, because we don't have to take on opinions. Or you look at this challenge and you say, "Oh my gosh, this is such a good opportunity for me to go do XYZ." And you stop blaming. You acknowledge when you are blaming and you say, well, hold on, hold on. Let me shift this around and see how I can change this within myself. And that is the foundation for your success. Because if you think you can or you can't, you are right. Thank you, Henry Ford. So go out today. How do you want to show up? Do you want to have a fixed mindset or do you want to have a growth mindset? Start to pay attention to some of those things that we talked about and go out there and be the person that you want to be. Take control. Have that growth mindset. Fixate on that and watch your success just boom, because it all starts up here. All right. That's it for me. We're going to be talking about mindset this week and why mindset matters. Today, we talked about success. So go back and listen to growth versus fixed mindset. It is a powerful, powerful thing to master within our lives, but mindset matters. So go out. How do you want your mindset to be? I'm going to leave you with that. And when you become aware of your thoughts, then everything starts to grow around it. So if you say, I want a positive, I want a growth mindset, then that's what you're going to start to accomplish. So set your mind to where you want to be and go get it. I will see you here tomorrow. All right. Have a great one. Cheers.